What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We are back with another Musume video. This video decided to try Duramente for today's training video, since we haven't tried her out yet for prep. Although I did run a training off camera and it went pretty well. I will say I did remember, I also did train Orfurb. I did remember, I think right before the League of Heroes? I think right before the League of Heroes or somewhere around that time. I remembered about the 3-speed build that Tanoki mentioned and decided to give it a try with Orfurv. And got a UD7, which is actually this one right here. As you can see, we were barely short off with a Wise, but we were off with the 1200. Especially with Guts, which I wasn't actually surprised. I was just more like testing it out. But if I had gotten a little bit more, maybe. But well, I just wanted to test it out this time again with Duramente. Except the only difference would be I know I can't use her card, so the key to cards here, and I am using the actually, I think I could use the Dream Journey one for this one. Probably should. I probably should, so I will do that. Let's see if I could find... Oh, I did see it, but... Just want to see if... I guess we'll just go with that. And yeah, we'll just go with 3 speed cards with this, which is Dream Journey, Still in Love, and Maikita. The Wise card being Entition, and then Stamina Creek, along with the group card Speed Symbole. So I'm not too sure, but I think I'm just gonna go with this. So we're gonna get the run started. Oh yeah, I literally just came out of a run. So I'm gonna refresh a little bit of stamina just so we can get the run started. But before we do go into the run and over the comments, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There's a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined the circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It's called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request to join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle, and then after that, head over to the comment section or to the circle request channel. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But that being said, the run is basically started. Oh, and about the 3-speed setup, I wasn't sure if it was with a stamina card or a power card, but I figured since it's 3-speed, I didn't have to worry about power. So I went with a stamina card. But starting off with the comments, the first batch of comments will be from Nova. Actually, I should probably refresh just in case, because I think I loaded this kind of early, but regardless, the first comment is going to be from Nova. And after I pick a training, we'll go with that. And the first one says, yep, I'm cooked for Zenless. Saw the new characters after Tofu, and yeah, meta and a Gaki that needs correction. Let's go with this one. I'm pulling all of them, same as was. So this means that July is a bleeding month for my wallet. Guess I can do overtime at work. Nothing like a little overtime can solve, right? For Wuwa, I spent the weekend doing previous quests to accumulate as many rocks as I can for the update this week. I'll consider anything I get here as a discount. I am so glad for Rochia, since she is the MVP when it comes to farming mats and exploration. With one heavy attack, I can just fly into the sky that way without jumping off a high cliff or something. The Bard Girl is just missing her forte, but I guess I'll need to see if I can get her done this week with the weekly boss reset or not. I think mine is built okay for the most part. I just need to update 2 of her echoes because they don't got crit rate, but they do have crit damage. So I'm missing a little bit of crit that I could use. So I think that's all I need for her. This is a random thought, but in Wuo with the order sending out pilgrimage ships every single time, it makes you wonder how financially feasible that endeavor is. Do they just make these large ships for no reason other than this one use? I know the guillotine is efficient, but this whole ship making thing must be costing them a fortune. That's baffling to me. Well, it seems like it hasn't been an issue this whole time for them. So I wouldn't think it's an issue if they had gone years and years and years with it without even thinking about it. Maybe I'm pretty sure it wasn't a problem if they made it this far, right? But yeah, it doesn't sound smart at all financially if you think about it, but I don't know. Ships do seem pretty big from like the shipwrecks that we saw at that one part of Renacida. So that's all I got, to be honest. Rerolling too much in ER can send you directly to the ER. If you're not careful. Jokes aside, I'm just glad that I got Mio. It seems that PvP shop gives you better rewards in this game, which makes sense for a PvP gacha. They better. They better. I'm saving my currency for the next limited character. I guess I'll treat this as a side game for now and just waste my stamina until I unlock the next story. So, first things first, I will mention that I did see the codes that you sent me, the redeem codes. So thank you for that, because that actually helped the reroll process a little bit. It gave me a little bit more pulls. But I will say that my rerolling has officially ended about, as I'm recording, literally maybe like 6 hours ago. No, way earlier, almost like 10 hours ago. 10 hours ago. And if you're wondering the time, it's literally close. I should have. I got caught up in training and didn't realize the time, so that's my fault. But I got it like about like 10 hours ago, and man, I didn't get. Oh man. I might as well just go with the green one. Got no pinks and yeah. And who I got from it was, so I managed not to touch the actual currency. I just like the gems. I only managed to only use the 50 or 51 tickets that I got from the tutorial and claiming everything and all that. So off the 5 pulls, I guess technically 6 if you want to count the free pull. I got, who did I get? Oh, I got Mio as well. I also got Doki Doki. And then I did get Rahu as well. So I got a DPS, a debuff, and a support, which is actually not bad. Not bad. And then I know once I hit the 7-day thing with the whole claiming, the, what was her name, Ling Lo, however you say her name, the sustain. I think I'm good. I think I'm good for now. But I guess I took me what I was re-rolling since the weekend, like Saturday, like late Saturday or early Sunday, until basically like 3 days. Not too bad. Not too bad. Plus, it wasn't like re-rolling all day or anything. It was more like in the email I used, I went up to 13 times, so it wasn't that bad. It was just re-rolling it whenever I can. So yeah, now I have an account. It's all good. We good now. I was actually gonna stop pretty soon, like tomorrow at the very latest. It was a low key starting to get old, but thankfully it all worked out. It all worked out. So now I'm just not gonna do any pulls until I know who the next limited is, just to see who it is. And if I really want the limited, then I'll go for it on the limited banner. If not, then I'll decide whether or not I want to keep going on the permanent banner, just to see if I can get Lily, or maybe I won't pull actually if I'm not interested in the next limited. Maybe. I am not enjoying these stamp choices at the moment. I like that blue one, but in my head, I'm just thinking pink at the moment. So I don't want to be too behind, because I forgot, was it like we need 6 or 5? I don't know. I forgot how much we get before. I think it was 6 though. Yeah, I think it was 6. I'm just taking my chances right now. Let's see if we can unlock the dates as well. So yeah, my rerolls are done, and I don't think I'm just chilling now. Whatever happens, happens. But moving on, haven't done the Zenless story yet, but if we're talking about HSR level of long, then yeah, I'm probably going to save that for the weekend. 8 hours of pure Zenless story would be more immersive for me. It doesn't feel right to do this during weeknights when I have limited time. It wasn't 8 hours. It was more like around, I guess, depending on how fast you go through the story, 5 hours, 5 to 5.5. For me, fortunately, it was about 5 hours, but there was like at least 15 minutes of me initially talking about the story and all that. So I would say like 4.5 for myself. Surprisingly. Because normally I take a little bit more time than the average, but I was actually a little bit shorter than the average I saw after I finished my story. What do I want? Ooh, what do I want? I know I want to try and unlock bonds, but I still, or the dates, but I also... Yeah, let's just focus on bonds. The new doll is a SMG, and her trait is just that she can move away further than any other unit can, like probably to the back of the enemy line or something. So it's a lot of space. The question is though, is there a need for that? Especially when Klukai can both move and kill the entire back row with just one skill. Good point. For boss battles, like if she doesn't have enough damage, then she's not even going to be considered. Very true. She has one function that stops an enemy from healing itself, but I don't see how this is relevant in the content so far. So in the words of Noki, this is a rubbish doll. I would think so, just by off you described it. I didn't know what she was basically done until you, whatever, basically you said, so... I think I'm good on that also, I think. You pulled for everyone, but did you get all their weapons though? Now that's the real lucky mustard question. My case is yes, but until this banner, we'll grab her for a collection, but that's it. And to answer your question, matter of fact, I did. I did pull everyone and their weapons so far, so If I could remember everyone off the top of my head. Oh my. Oh my stamps. Oh my stamps. I don't like these pink options, but I don't want to keep picking green. Tanoki's probably gonna yell at my like stamp choices this time. If he would look at them. If he will look at them. Just saying, Tanoki, my options were limited just based on what they've given me. Maybe I could have chosen something different, but man, those options were not the best. I'll be honest, not the best. But yes, Suomi, I did get her weapon. Macchiato, I did get her weapon. Vector, yes. Lukai, yes. Diane, yes. Mekti, yes. Dushevnaya, yes. The Center Rossi, yes. Is there anyone else that I pulled for? Yuhi, yes. Yuhi, yes. And I think that's everyone, yeah? Yeah, because I didn't pull for Orid. And I think that's her name, right? I think that's pretty much it if there's no one else. So yeah, I could say, yeah, I did pull for everyone's weapons along with them. For Shwomi, I got her weapon on her rerun. To be honest, I didn't get it the first time around. Even though the first time around I think I just didn't want to push my luck because I did get Shwomi fairly early, and I also did get a dupe of her because it was advised that I should get a dupe of her, so I did. So yeah, I did pull everyone and their weapons. So I might be actually, I think I might be okay to not pull. I think it's time to actually chill from pulling for Girls Frontline for a whole banner. I wouldn't mind that. Replenish the stock there. Oh yeah, where are we in this? I better just make sure we're okay. We're still fairly early in the second year, so didn't unlock dates. I'm gonna have to rest. Well, the thing is that I actually do enjoy learning languages. Took French for 4 years in high school, and that was an interesting experience, even though I never took up French afterwards because I kind of didn't like the language when it got harder in terms of grammar, all for the sakes of sounding good. I did take Japanese before college, but that was during summer vacation in Taiwan. Interesting. I'm gonna try and force the date by just picking on it. You'd think that learning Japanese from Chinese would be easier, but I didn't really learn much because I did not like the way they taught you over there. Fair. It was just the same old memorize this, memorize that, whereas in college here in America, it was more group activities and class presentation that actually gave you more flexibility in learning, from preparing Japanese speeches to PowerPoint slides. I think in general, when it comes to learning languages, it's not just about memorizing, but it's also about using said language that you memorize. Because if you don't, basically, if you don't use it, you lose it. Because if you're not at least trying to speak the language or understand the language somehow from in conversation with either classmates or friends, then you're just, whatever you memorize, you won't be able to know whether or not you're using it properly or not. So that is kind of the place I find myself is if I do learn on my own, then I'm basically stuck with the whole memorizing thing, which it can only get me so far. But if I had someone, at least for the most part, I could have like Japanese content to at least work on, right? See if I can understand or read or something like that. But let's say if me and my brother were to learn at the same time, then that would be probably more beneficial for the both of us, because then we could push each other while also being able to learn it. But at the same time, it would also be best if there was actually someone who knew the language also to help out in a way. But I think that most of my Japanese after college came from just forcing myself to read visual novels and Japanese only. I read a lot of fantasy and historical visual novels, and there were terms in there that I've never come across. But it was educational nonetheless. For anime, I think it's just about listening, and over time it became easier to identify what the Japanese meaning intention was. I can see that. I can see that. Looking at the English sub for some of these, and yeah, you realize that, yeah, these were translation errors. Chinese knowledge is helpful only when you want to know what a kanji means, so in a lot of Uma skills, I can probably tell you the meaning of the skill just by looking at kanji. I wish that I could actually live in Japan to fully grasp the language, but I'm satisfied with just getting by with anime and visual novels. Obviously, being in Japan would be the perfect place to test and also learn more Japanese, right? But also, I mean, another a good replacement to that, like I said, would be like having just that friend or just someone that you could, you know, you like talk to for a bit in Japanese, even if it's for a bit or as much as you can. I would see that working as well. I guess for me, Uma is a roller coaster. One moment you're chilling with, where are we? Auto run per day, and then the one auto run per day, and then the next you're doing 5 runs to prep for CM and stuff. It comes and goes, but that makes Uma more worth it to play for me. Hey, if that's how it is for you, then that's how it is for you. Like in Counter-Strike and Nikki, I have never tried in those gotchas, but in turn, I just became more detached to them. That is kind of like my whole, I guess you could say, like, immersion thing when it comes to these games, especially with like the story and all that. Or like, at least with like a lot of the games where I just log in and do stuff, I'm usually just waiting for something to update for the most part. I do not like these stamps. Once again, these stamps are not what I want them to be. At this point, this run is just screwed. At this point, this run is screwed. I don't know what I want. I'm just staring at this and it's just like, I'm gonna just pick this green dumbbell. Oh well. But yeah, like the games where I just log in, do the dailies, I'm usually just waiting for like the event to update or a story or something. But yeah, I usually like to at least try and get myself involved in the games as much as I can, because like I said, if I don't put some kind of effort into it, I'll eventually get attached to it. Which is like, sadly, HBR is kind of on that brink because I've been on and off about it, even with the collab going. So I don't know if HBR is going to be that casual game I just have, unfortunately. As for the other games, they're all pretty much good. Just all good. Still got the stuff to do. I actually need to still do the shield defense video. If anything, I might just record the runs, not even say a single word, just post the runs and all that. Or I'll just appear like I did last time. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see if I even get it out today to begin with. I just realized that we don't even have the dates. Oh, so much badness in this run. So much bad in this run. So much bad in this run is all I can say. But let's move on with the comment. I have never tried, but I'm turning. I guess casual just means that you're logging in and doing dailies and collecting characters, but you don't search for anything else beyond that. It's probably something people enjoy, sure, but I don't know if I can apply that mindset for all 18 gachas I play. Oh, hell no. Even I can't agree with that. Even I can't agree with that. I think I might just pick the blue one, to be honest. This run is already... I don't know if I could salvage this run with these stamps. With the 18 gachas I play, I do have some gachas like Blue Archive and stuff where I'm competitive. And there are one where I only... Well, I don't really care much. Still, I'm talking about the 18 gachas I alone do play. But what about other people who only have one gacha that play that is 100% casual? I don't consider that playing, to be honest. Well, yeah, that's what I said, pretty much from my comparison, right? Because what I said yesterday, I think casual is not keeping up with the game. As in dailies and all that. So I guess we are speaking the same when it comes to casual. What you described as in just like logging in, having only one gacha, and just doing anything, that's not playing the game. I don't really know what to call that, to be honest, because if you're just logging in a game, just to log in the game, get whatever logins you can grab, and mail rewards, whatever, and just use whatever currency you can get throughout all these just logging in, just to pull for whatever character in the future. That is definitely not playing. Or if the very minimum they do is just dailies, but well, you're saying doing dailies and collecting characters, but or no. To me, casual is at least keeping up with the game. Less than that is not. Like if your account can't keep up, or you're just not doing anything, literally just what you said, dailies and collecting characters. That's nothing. That's not even. That's not even considered playing. Even though you're doing dailies, you're still technically playing. But I wouldn't count it as playing the game. At least personally. I think at the very least, if you're keeping up with the game, that I would say that's considered casual. Because you're not really doing anything. You're just like, just keeping up with the flow of the game. Like just when something pops up, you give it a try, clear it, just so you can get some currency for the next banner. It's literally doing the bare minimum. Like beat whatever you can, beat it later if you can, when your team gets stronger, if you get new characters. But if you're not even doing that, that's not even casual. If you're not even doing that. At least that's what I think. If it's just dailies, yeah, no. But moving on for the huge and casualness, we have this ranking. 1, Uma. 25. Oh, what happened to 2 to 24? Zenless. Then all the way to 99, HBR. That's a lot more. But yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, I guess, for what it sounds like. I mean, I'm kind of in the same position with HBR where I'm not even casual there. Even though I had done, the reason why I'm where I'm at is because of my progress earlier. But other than that, I've been pretty behind there. So I wouldn't even consider myself casual because I'm not even keeping up on daily progress. I'm not even doing dailies. So yeah, being honest, I'll do dailies here and there. That's it. Well, it's true that I gaslighted myself to spend money. You did. You definitely did. But I don't regret it. It opened my eyes to the fact that swiping is good for the world. Well, as long as you don't regret it. That's all that matters. You heard it here first, folks. Eugen's a nub. Until he fixes his account. I would say so, yeah. Because if he fixes the account, then he has nothing to complain about when it comes to not being able to beat something. Unless it all just comes down to his own gameplay. If he can clear it or not, then it all comes down to that. After he fixes his account. As in characters, drive this and all that. Zenless in general. Vivlos and Turbo don't even have half of an ult. I told Eugen that Turbo should have ult earlier than Vivlos. We shall see because I'm coping Bride Vivlos Verxino. Well, you're gonna have to wait a year for that because they already released the Bride events, obviously, because we just seen it not too long ago. I don't know what event they would give Turbo though. Like what story event for an ult at this point, since it seems like they're changing some around. Stamp simulator is real. If you don't the stamps, if you don't the stamps. If you don't put this, me reading exactly how you put it is messing me up. If you don't get the stamps to align, you won't get even close to a UB. Okay, I had to add a few words to make my brain accept what I was gonna say for some reason. Well, Noki is like the novelist Charles Dickens. He has a lot of great expectations. Well, one thing I like to tell myself is try not to have too many expectations, because that may lead to too many disappointments. Did the hologram challenges and the newly weekly mode? I guess they're alright. The hologram did tilt me since past level 90. The bosses get ridiculous, I agree. I was hoping to cheese it with Zani, but she dies before I can get her full combo off. Very true. Very true. She can't even tank it because the damage sucks. It just sucks. Why does it keep scrolling me back down? Let me like it. And that is actually the last comment from Nova. So thank you for all the comments, Nova. Appreciate it as always. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I practically just stopped caring about the run. Like, I just look at my stats. I'm like, it could definitely be better. Maybe some of my choices toward the more recent parts could have been better, but like the early ones, I don't know if I could have helped it, to be honest. To be honest. But the next comment is gonna be from Eugen. First one says, "Oh shucks, no first comment because I'm eating and upload is load." And upload is load? Sure, whatever you mean by that. Oh well, I will comment later once I get home. Nova says, "Forgot to say first." Yes, you did, if you really need to. Next comment from Eugen says, "Oh my goodness. Fell asleep while watching the vid, and by the time I know, it is time for me to prepare to go to work. Unfortunately, I was not able to do a train along with Orfer, but I did try to train Sound of Earth, but all was retired training, then lie down in bed." I'm not gonna get all the dates out of the way. Well, made sense because I only got it like very late. Um, Last comment from Nova. Nova Eugen. "I would like to mention on this scenario, I'm just training like you in a casual way, picking the usual stamps and not deeper into it, and just a dead brain training, like not going deep into friendship bonus, motivation bonus, or training bonus. I don't make things complicated for me now since I'm not even fighting for tournament and tops of the tops. As long as I manage to get to UB or something, man happy." Oh, when was the last time I gave tips to you, Shushu? Well, I think it's been a long time. I would say it's definitely been a while. It feels like it's been a while. Because, I only can give once. I tried your setup. Oh, wait. I'm slipping comments at this time since it's time for me to go. All good? All good. I probably should have rested. No, I need to rest soon. Yeah, for me, I don't really think much because when when Tanoki would say you chose this bonus instead of this bonus over this bonus and that bonus, I'm just like, am I just supposed to have a feeling of when I should pick this bonus over that bonus based on my picks, I assume? My current picks? I'm just assuming. That's all I can really think. When he was like saying you chose this and this bonus over that bonus. Other than that, I can't really think what other meaning behind it or reasoning behind it. So yeah, I've been pretty just going by feel. If it hasn't been obvious, which is why I responded the way I did, saying you could tell me this, but I won't know because it's by feel then, or I just have to look at my stabs. Then sure. But other than that, thank you for all the comments, Eugen. Appreciate it as always. Next comment is gonna be from Rick, and I think that is the only comment from Rick. Yes, it is, and it says, "Side Games finally showed a little bit of what they can do with a budget of Cinderella Grey. It was a good introduction for Tamamo Cross." I wouldn't know. I just realized something before I continue on with the replies, because we were just talking about the stamps. Because I just remembered Tanoki mentioned saying it's hard to just mention the stamps. Why don't you just post the actual name of the stamp? Like, just copy and paste it. Wouldn't I be able to see the kanji? Or katakana, whatever it is. And then I would just be like, oh, so that's what he meant by that. Wouldn't have that made it easier? Because for the most part, I At this point, I just realized these stamps by the symbols. That's how I remember which ones I want to pick or not. So, wouldn't have been simpler than saying it's hard? Well, yeah, it is hard, but it wouldn't just typing down the actual skill would have made it a little bit easier? Or was that a little, or that just didn't come across your mind? It didn't come across my mind until now. So yeah, it probably didn't come across your mind. Or was it just a little too much effort? I don't know if YouTube would have canceled the comment or yeeted the comment out of here, but it would have been worth a shot, I think. But moving on with Rick's reply, the replies in his comments. Nova says, I'll watch it after part 2 is over. There's a part 2. I haven't decided whether or not I wanted to watch part 1 before part 2 or watch as a whole. So I can wait, because there's a lot I've missed. Tanoki says, Tamamo cross pull-up scene threatened to awaken something. Nova says, awake nothing when flat is involved. A little rude, but a little rude, but all right. But thank you, Rick, for the comment. Next and final comments are going to be from Tanoki. First one says, bro, I just realized seeing the build now that you have UB capable cards for Chaser. Borrow speed, AI, speed, still in love, speed Dura, stamina creek, Intuition and scenario card, speed dream skills, slightly overlap with Intuition, so not a massive blow to your build. Well, unfortunately, I ran that with this run. Maybe I should have done speed I then. Maybe. Nova says, bruh, could have used this information like 6 weeks ago. Agreed. Agreed. Because I did have these cards 6 weeks ago. Triple speed build is Tanoki responding to Nova, I assume. Triple speed build is a small learning curve though, especially tough decision to hard send speed trading out of cap to increase power. Actually, I didn't think it was hard to increase power, but I do feel like I'm limited once I reach cap, but I don't. But the 2 trainings I did with Orferv and I think just Orferv and was it Duramente the other one? They're both their powers were fine, and I capped out on speed at the final stats increase. And then Nova says, do it for the SP. Ooh, SP or speed? I will assume skill points because you put SP instead of SPD. And Tanoki says, why'd you want to run triple speed for Chaser? Speed pasta to get checked while using intact, I get, but you'd be better off loaning Taishin and go double stamina for Chasers. Nova says, huh? Since when did this conversation become my build? I thought this was about giving Shushu the information earlier would have helped. Yes. it would have been. Although, I would say at most like 2 weeks ago, the 3 speed build was mentioned, and I found it interesting, and I didn't try it until this time. So, yeah, 6 weeks is not a bad estimate on how long ago he could have been mentioned. Tanoki says, oh, I don't think about Shushu's build besides when I see it on screen. It just occurred to me now. To be honest, I would have never thought of a 3 speed build normally because I haven't done 3 speed since like the first year when I was struggling to get speed to max. Like the first year and a half, maybe. So yeah, that was definitely an afterthought until you mentioned it, and I forgot about it. Then I remembered, tried it, and then now you mentioned it here in this comment. Yes, it may not be too late. It could be used. I'm assuming maybe next scenario, maybe. I actually managed to get all the dates out of the way, but stats are speed is capped out and stamina is not there, so it is what it is. Actually, for what it is, the stats actually aren't that bad. It's just some are lacking and some could have been better. Amp choices could have been better in the beginning, but at least that's what I think. At least that's what I think. But next comment, maybe the way to describe casual gaming is the zombie mode. The more aspects of a game someone ignores, neglects, or finds annoying to put any effort into. Working theory, let me know if it needs refining. I don't know. Because it's kind of weird to... It's kind of weird to say that the more aspects of a game someone ignores, neglects, or finds annoying to put any effort into to describe it as casual when I'm gonna have to say it. You literally called me casual for the amount of effort that I put in the game. A year ago. You literally called me a casual regardless of the amount of effort I put in the game. So this is why, and then I still do the CMs, and all that. I try to ask for improvements while I try to also learn on my own. And then if I feel like I'm comfortable, then I try to go after you guys for advice. So yeah, it's to me that was, and you called that casual. So it kind of doesn't work with what you put here if you're trying to describe casual. That this more sounds like they don't even play the game, so I wouldn't even want to call that casual. That's the hard part I'm having here is how can we call someone casual when they're not even basically playing the game? Because you can't just be casually playing the game when you're not even touching the game, basically. Right? It's like casually walking down the street. At least you're walking down the street all nonchalant and all that, right? But if casually playing the game is basically not playing the game from both y'all descriptions, then how is that casual at all? You're just not playing the game, which is why I prefer my description of casual, where you're still keeping up with the game, but you're not putting any extra effort to make your account better or like clear the harder content. Like you'll go from wherever you feel like you're good at, and you'll just keep up with the game. To me, that's casual. Any more than that is extra effort and all that. More casual, more than casual. But less than that, it's definitely not playing the game. Like from your descriptions, like ignoring a lot of parts of the game, being annoyed part of the game, or just barely touching the game at all, not even playing it, but just logging and just see what's up. Because that's what it sounds like what you guys are talking about, and I don't know how that's casual. I just can't see how that's casual because you're not doing anything. You're basically just not playing, so I don't want to even put that along with casually doing something. Because you can't say you're casually doing something if you're not doing anything at all. That's just my point. And lastly, by the way, the ticks and crosses are not about the game giving bad choices. It's about assessing the 3 to 9 snaps that were given and you pick the best one. And if you pick the best one. Oh no, I know it was based off whether or not I picked a good or bad choice based on what you think, not the game. Why would I think that? As for FB, TB, MB, and when to pick them, top stamps give 25 friendship bonus or 150% motivation bonus. Meanwhile, the top training bonus stamp is Harmony, which is more training bonus the larger the stack. Harmony, the pink triples training one, that one. Or Harmony the two-star friendship. I guess it wouldn't make sense then. And this is why I said, can't you just put the actual skill name and I can go off that? I can literally go off the actual skill name from the game. I would definitely understand that more than you guys trying to make it sound like you're trying to make me understand, to be quite honest. To be quite honest. But I want to pick out the skills before I finish off the comments, just because I'm not using this Duramente, so I just want to pick out the skills as quick as possible, just to get it out of the way and then finish the rest of the comment and then finish the video so I can get it edited and then upload it, hopefully hopefully close to the time or around the time. This is what I get for doing extra training right before, like, the time I usually, or like around the time I would record sometimes, so. But it's fine, it's fine. I'll just get that out of the way. All right, that, and then, oh, I need to pick the skills again because I said no. You know what? I'm just gonna go from the top. I'm gonna just go from the top and just pick from here instead. Because it'll be faster, I guess. I like to go bottom to top, but this time I'll just scroll normally. I might have to scroll back up if I don't pick enough. Just go all the way to the bottom and see how much I have left to pick from. And that seems alright. We'll just go with that. And let's see what the rest of the comment says. Harmony, which is more than you'd pick, 25% friendship bonus over 25% TB bonus, let alone 20% or 15% TB bonus. I'm the wrong guy to ask why, though. The answer is because it gives more stat. Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. For today, choices are fine except stamp 9. I won't remember that unless I look back. Pick 15 TB over 25% FB. Well, I mean, at least that's something I could consider then. It's better than nothing. Gauges were not being filled, but I'm only skimming the stamp choosing portion. Maybe training color RNG was trolling. I don't know. Despite worse RNG today, though, the result was better because only like 4 stamps off. The only one due to wrong stamp choice. In any case, today, last day looking at stamps, feels fruitless to comment without pictures. Similars happened at the starter scenario. This is an hour VC or a forever endeavor YouTube comments. Actually, I think it would work, like I said, if you would just somehow just copy and paste the skill name. Or the skill name, the stamp name. Because obviously, you know what stamps I'm picking off the video. So, unless it's a stamp that I'm not usually picking, then I won't recognize it. But then it doesn't mean I won't look at said I don't know, some picture online of it and see if what the, or some kind of website that has the stuff down, and I'll see what you guys are talking about if I don't know the skill. Just saying. Just saying, if unless that didn't cross your minds, then I don't know if it just wasn't a thing that you guys considered, or you considered, when it comes to telling me which stamp is which stamp that you're talking about. Like Harmony, I believe there are two of them that are Harmony, which is both pink, which is the 3-star pink training dumbbell, and the 2-star I think is also Harmony as well, the friendship one. So yeah, I can go off of that if I vaguely know the name of the thing. But if I don't, then it's gonna be harder. I'd rather go off of the actual like kanji. I'd rather go off the actual kanji because I have at least seen it a lot of times, although way a lot of times over the past few months. So yeah. Besides that, that's pretty much it for all the comments, unless I refresh and somehow there's another comment, which there isn't. So thank you, Eugen, Tanoki, Rick, and Noah for all the comments. Appreciate it as always. Let's see. Let's just finish the rest of this run, or the end of this run, by just picking all this and all that and this, and just see what we got, and the video from there. I do need to get this video edited. UD2 not bad. The last one I got was a UD7, so obviously could have been better. But I think besides guts, which I probably just need to get more stamina training out of the way to offset that, along with actually doing guts training when it actually has a good rainbow training on it, when it gets a rainbow training on it. So besides that, I think the 3-speed is actually not bad, but I think I think I want to try, oops, I want to try this with Almond Eye instead of Dream Journey, I guess, if these skills kind of go with, or messes up with, I don't know, but basically with Entice Shin. But if that doesn't matter, then I don't know. If that doesn't matter, then I'll keep using it that way. Because obviously I can't use my Duramente speed card along with Duramente. Actually, but I don't think the gold skills are the same as Entice Shin. I'm probably, what you mean would be like the actual like other skills, maybe. I'll take a look at it later if it really does. If not, if it's not really that much of an issue, then I'll just use the Dream Journey one if I do choose to train Duramente more off camera, which I probably will. But anyways, ended off with 1877 speed, 1131 stamina, 1289 power, 861 guts, and 1204 wise with an S aptitude on medium. Distance, and as we saw, we didn't make it to any tops because we've had some pretty high UDs with Duramente, so pretty understandable on why we didn't get top 3 or break the top 3. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on, I don't know, we didn't really get any much information on the upcoming CM yet, right? So let me know how you guys are doing, I guess, just on the upcoming CM prep, how you guys are doing. I feel like some of you have got some UMAs done, and some probably just trying. But let me know who you guys have gotten or thought of to bring into the CM and all that. And if there's anything else y'all want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comments section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. That goes with questions as well. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is also down in the description. There's a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request to join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or to the Circle Request channel. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.